Hello everyone, and how are you doing today? My name is Mr. Oba and I hope you are having a lovely day. Our topic for today is two-dimensional shapes. We are going to learn how to identify and name two-dimensional shapes. We are going to learn how to identify the square, how to identify the rectangle, and how to identify the circle. To identify the square has four sides of the same length. The top, the bottom, the left, and the right side are of the same length. The rectangle has two pairs of sides of the same length. The top and the bottom are of the same length, and the left and the right side are of the same length. While the circle is a continuous circle. So this is what the square looks like. This is what the rectangle looks like, and this is what the circle looks like. So whenever you see the square, this is what the shape is like. The shape has four sides of the same length. The rectangle has two pairs of sides of the same length. Two sides are of the same length, and the other two sides are of the same length. So the rectangle has two pairs of sides of the same length, while the circle is a continuous circle. So for example, when you see the sun is a continuous circle, and that is what the circle looks like. So we are going to be tracing the square, the rectangle, and the circle we have on the board. Just like I said, the square has four sides of the same length, and we can see that our square, the top is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dots. The bottom also is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dots. The left side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dots. And the right side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dots. So the square has the four sides of a square has the same length, and we are going to trace it. So this is what the square looks like. The four sides of a square. Let's say this is side A, side B, side C, and side D. The four sides of a square has the same length. If you look at the rectangle, two sides of the rectangle has the same length. So two pairs of sides of the rectangle has the same length. So in this case, the top and the bottom of the rectangle has the same length, while the left side and the right side has the same length. So if we count the dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's for the top. Then the bottom also is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the top and the bottom of a rectangle has the same length, but the length is different from the left and the right. Let's count the dots of the left and the right. The dot of the left is 1, 2, 3, 4. And that of the right is 1, 2, 3, 4 also. So the length of the left side and the right side is different from the length of the top and the bottom side. Yes, we've traced the dots and we can see that we get a rectangle. So we can say this is A1 and A2 and B1 and B2 because the top and the bottom has the same length and the left and the right side has the same length. So a circle is just a continuous circle, as we can see here. You just keep going round and round and round and round and round so you get your circle. So this is a square, this is a rectangle, and this is a circle. So we are going to be learning how to sort out shapes. We are going to be using the drawing on the board to sort out our shapes. I've drawn a lorry on the board, and the lorry is made up of different shapes. We have the rectangle, the square, and the circle. So on the board, look at the board with me. How many rectangles do we have on the board, on the lorry? How many rectangles do we have in this diagram of the lorry? Is this a rectangle? No, this is a circle. Is this a rectangle? No, this is square. This is a rectangle, and we've just got one rectangle. So we've got one rectangle. So I'll just clean this S because it's one rectangle. Okay? So I'll just label this rectangle. So how many squares do we have on the board? So how many squares do we have on the board? Of course, this is a rectangle. Is this a square? No, this is a circle. Is this a square? Yes, this is a square. So we've got one square on the board. So this is a square. We've got one square on the board. So I'll just clean this also because we have one square and we'll label it square. So how many circles do we have on the board? We can see that we have 4 circles on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 1 circle, 2 circle, 3 circle, 4 circles on the board. Good. So the lorry is made up of 1 rectangle, 1 square, and 1, 2, 3, 4 circles. Well done if you got that. Also, let us look at this wooden toy. This wooden toy is made up of circles, it's made up of squares, and it's made up of rectangles. So how many rectangles do we have on the wooden toy? Is this a rectangle? No. Is this a rectangle? No. Is this actually a rectangle? No. What about this? Yeah, this looks like a rectangle to me. So we've got 1 rectangle, 2 rectangle. Let us look at the body of the wooden toy. Is it a rectangle? Yes, it is a rectangle. So we've got 1 rectangle, 2 rectangle, and 3 rectangle. Then let's look at the legs of the wooden toy. Is this a rectangle? Yes, the legs also are rectangles. So we've got 1 rectangle, 2 rectangles, 3 rectangles, 4 rectangles, and 5 rectangles. So how many rectangles is the wooden toy made of? The wooden toy is made of 5 rectangles. Good. So how many squares is the wooden toy made of? How many squares is the wooden toy made of? We've sorted out the rectangles. So is this a square? No. Is this a square? No. All these are circle. Of course, these are rectangles. The body is a rectangle, the arms are rectangles, the legs are rectangles. Then let's look at the feet. The feet of the wooden toy, is it a square? Well done if you said yes. Each foot of the wooden toy is a square. So how many squares can we find in the wooden toy? We can find 1 square and 2 squares. So the wooden toy is made up of 2 squares. So the wooden toy is made of 2 squares. The wooden toy is made of 2 squares. So let's go to circles. How many circles can we find in the wooden toy? We can see that we've sorted out the squares, we've sorted out the rectangles. So is this a circle? Well done if you said yes, this is a circle. So we've got 1 circle, which is the head. We've also got 2 circles here, which are the eyes. And we've got 1 circle here, which is the mouth. So we've got 1 circle, 2 circle, 3 circle, and 4 circles. So the wooden toy is made of 4 circles. The wooden toy is made of 4 circles. So we've been able to sort out the 2-dimensional shapes in our lorry and in our wooden toy. So that is it about 2-dimensional shapes. I hope you can now identify a square. You can also identify a rectangle and a circle. Thank you once again for joining us today. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.